Imagine this for a moment. You're sitting across from a woman you genuinely enjoy being around. The conversation is flowing effortlessly, like two rivers merging into one. You're laughing, she's smiling, and then, out of nowhere, she says something. Just a phrase, nothing dramatic, nothing that would sound unusual if someone else heard it. But if you knew what to listen for, if you understood the subtle psychology behind her words, you would realize she just revealed something powerful, something she didn't mean to say outright. Because here's the truth. Women rarely express attraction directly. They don't always come out and say, "I like you." Instead, they communicate in a hidden language, a language of hints, subtext, tone, and coded messages. And most men, they miss these signals entirely. They either overthink them, ignore them, or dismiss them as random comments. But what separates the man who understands attraction from the one who constantly feels confused is this: the ability to listen beyond the surface. That's why today, we're going to break it all down. I'm going to share with you 5 specific phrases a woman says when she's starting to develop feelings for you. Some will sound playful, some will sound innocent, and some are so subtle that the average man would never catch them. But once you recognize these signals, you'll see attraction before it even becomes obvious. You'll notice the shift in her words and energy long before she ever admits her interest directly. By the end of this, you'll have a kind of superpower, an ability to pick up on attraction without guessing, without confusion, and without chasing. So let's begin. 1. I don't usually do this, but the hidden confession. This phrase is one of the most telling. On the surface, it sounds like nothing more than a casual disclaimer, but underneath, it's loaded with hidden meaning. When a woman says, "I don't usually do this, but," what she's really telling you is, "I am stepping outside of my own rules for you." Think about how powerful that is. She could be talking about texting you first. She could be talking about opening up emotionally. She could even be talking about something physical or intimate. But in every single case, the underlying message is the same. I don't do this for just any man, but for you, I'm making an exception. Now, why is this significant? Because women are very conscious of how they are perceived. They know their actions send signals. They know their reputation matters. And when she chooses to break her own pattern, when she decides to step outside her comfort zone, that's not random. That's intentional. It's her way of saying, "I feel safe enough with you to bend my own rules. I trust you enough to let down my guard. I want you to know you're not just another guy." And here's the interesting part. She doesn't need to say this. She could just take the action. Text first, share something personal, or lean in closer. She could leave it at that. But when she verbalizes it, when she actually says the words out loud, she's making sure you don't miss the point. She's saying, "I want you to understand that this is special." Where most men mess up, now here's where most guys completely blow it. When they hear this phrase, they react the wrong way. Some men get too excited. They call it out. They make it awkward. They act like they've just won some giant prize. Others question it. They start over-analyzing, asking, "Oh really? Why not?" And in doing so, they kill the mood entirely. Both responses destroy the attraction. Why? Because they shift the spotlight back on her behavior instead of letting the moment stay natural and effortless. The right response. The best response? Calm confidence. Act as if it's the most natural thing in the world. Smile. Hold eye contact. Maybe even add a touch of playful banter. Something like, "I won't tell anyone if you don't." Or with a smirk, I don't usually hear that, but I'll take it. What this does is keep the energy light and fun, while also showing that you're not rattled by her exception. You're not overly impressed. You're not desperate for validation. You're simply grounded. And that grounded presence is exactly what makes her feel even more drawn to you. The psychology behind it. Here's the deeper psychology. When she says, "I don't usually do this," but she's creating contrast. She's separating you from every other guy. She's signaling that you stand out enough to make her rewrite her own script. And if you respond with calm confidence, you reinforce that perception. Suddenly, you're not just another man reacting to her words. You're the man who makes her feel intrigued, challenged, and safe all at the same time. And that combination is exactly what sparks pursuit. This is how you flip the script. Instead of chasing her, she starts investing more. Instead of you trying to prove yourself, she begins proving herself to you. And all of it started with a single phrase, delivered casually, but packed with meaning. 2. You're different from other guys. The ultimate green flag. At first, this phrase may sound like nothing more than a simple compliment. She says, "You're different from other guys," and most men just smile, blush, and think, "Well, that's nice to hear." But this is much more than a compliment. It's a revelation. It's a direct window into how she views you, how she feels about you, and what category she's beginning to place you in. Because think about it. Whenever someone says you're different, it implies comparison. She's not saying you're unique in the universe. She's saying you're unique in comparison to the men she's met, dated, or interacted with before. That's the key. And if you listen carefully, this phrase reveals two powerful truths. She's had experiences with men that left her unimpressed, hurt, or disappointed. She sees something in you that stands apart, something rare, something valuable. This isn't just small talk. It's a sign of emotional investment. It means you've already created contrast in her mind. And in psychology, this is known as the contrast bias. We don't evaluate people in isolation. We judge them against what came before. So if she's been with men who were dishonest, cold, or selfish, and you show warmth and integrity, you feel radically different. If she's only known men who lacked confidence, and you carry yourself with direction, you stand out immediately. The hidden subtext. When she says, "You're different from other guys," here's what she's really communicating. You don't fit the negative patterns I've seen before. You bring something refreshing, something I didn't expect. I'm beginning to see you as special. This is not just about attraction. It's about trust and respect. She's beginning to separate you from the category of ordinary men and placing you into a category of your own. Where most men fail now, here's the trap. Most men ruin this moment in one of two ways. They get cocky, they puff up, brag, and say things like, "Well, yeah, of course. I told you I'm not like those other guys." Big mistake. Why? Because now you're making it about ego instead of connection. They get awkward. They freeze, blush, or deflect with a weak, thanks, which makes them look unsure of themselves and kills the energy. Both reactions make her second guess whether you really are different or whether she just imagined it. The right response, the right move is curiosity. Lean in, smile, and say, "Different, huh? In what way?" Or, "What kind of guys are you usually around?" This flips the script. Now she's not just complimenting you, she's revealing more about her experiences, her past relationships, and what she values in a man. And here's the genius of this approach. Not only do you deepen the conversation, but you position yourself as the man who listens, the man who understands, and the man who makes her feel safe opening up. The Stoic lesson. From a Stoic perspective, this phrase also carries a lesson. Don't define yourself by the failures of others, but by your own inner character. Marcus Aurelius wrote that our worth isn't measured by what others say, but by whether we remain true to reason and virtue. When she says you're different, it's not an invitation to boast. It's a reminder to keep living with integrity, confidence, and consistency. Because if you lose that, the very thing that made you different disappears. 3. I just feel like I can talk to you about anything. The emotional gateway. This phrase is a milestone. When a woman says, I feel like I can talk to you about anything, she's not just saying she enjoys conversation. She's telling you she feels emotionally safe, and that more than looks, status, or charm is the foundation of attraction that lasts. Why this matters most. Women guard their inner world. They don't reveal their fears, insecurities, or private struggles to just anyone. So when she tells you she feels she can talk to you about anything, what she's really saying is, I trust you. I feel seen, not judged. You create a space where I can be myself. This is one of the clearest signs of deepening connection, because men often assume attraction is built on grand gestures or witty lines. But in reality, it's built on presence, the ability to listen fully, without rushing, without distraction, without judgment. The psychology behind it. There's a psychological principle here called emotional validation. Humans are wired to seek validation for their feelings, not advice, not solutions, but simple acknowledgement. When she opens up and you respond with patience, empathy, and groundedness, she associates you with relief and safety. You become her refuge from the chaos of the world, and that's a powerful bond. Where men mess up, unfortunately, most men ruin this opportunity in 2 ways. They try to fix everything. She shares a problem, and he immediately jumps in with advice, solutions, or instructions. While his intention is good, what she hears is, you don't understand me. They downplay her feelings. She opens up, and he responds with, oh, that's not a big deal, or you're overthinking it, which instantly breaks the trust. The right response. The right move is not to fix, but to feel, to mirror back understanding. Say things like, that sounds really tough. How are you handling it? I get why you'd feel that way. Notice, you're not solving, you're not minimizing, you're simply creating space for her to breathe. And in that space, attraction grows deeper than words can describe. The Stoic angle. The Stoics taught the power of composure, of being a calm presence in a storm. Epictetus said, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. When you embody that, when you become the man who listens more than he talks, you give her a rare gift. You become the man who offers stability in a world that often feels unstable, and that, more than anything, is irresistible. 4. What are we? The hidden investment. At first glance, this phrase can feel intimidating. Some men even panic when they hear it. A woman looks at them and says, so, what are we? But if you step back, you'll realize this phrase is not a trap. It's a declaration. It means she's already emotionally invested. She's thinking about the future. She's envisioning you as more than a casual presence in her life. Why this phrase matters. When a woman asks, what are we? She's not asking for fun. She's signaling, I care about this connection. I want clarity. I'm ready to define this because I see potential. This is attraction evolving into commitment. And while not every man may be ready for that, it's crucial to recognize it for what it is, a sign of serious interest. Where men get it wrong. Some men react with fear. They dodge, deflect, or joke it away. Others lock themselves down instantly without thought, just to please her. Both extremes miss the point. The wrong move is to either run away or rush in. The right move is to answer with honesty and calmness. The right response. If you're genuinely interested, lean into it. I really enjoy what we have. I see this going somewhere meaningful. If you're not sure yet, it's okay to be honest without pushing her away. I like what we're building, and I want to see where it grows. I'm not rushing, but I'm invested in this. Notice what's happening here. You're giving clarity without panic, direction without pressure. That balance creates security. The Stoic insight Seneca once said, "If one does not know to which port one is sailing, no wind is favorable." This phrase, "What are we?" is her way of asking, are we sailing in the same direction? If you can answer with clarity and steadiness, you anchor her trust. 5. I was thinking about you. The invisible pursuit. And finally, perhaps the most understated yet powerful phrase a woman can say, "I was thinking about you." It may sound casual, almost like nothing, but in truth, it's one of the strongest indicators of attraction. Why this phrase matters. When she says this, she's revealing that you occupy her mental space even when you're not around. She's signaling that you've crossed into her inner world of thought and imagination. And that's no small thing. Think about it. Our thoughts are our most private territory. And when she admits you've entered that space, she's letting you know, you matter to me. The psychology behind it. This phrase ties into the principle of mental availability. The idea that what we think about most influences our choices. If she's thinking about you, she's already more likely to text you, reach out, or want to see you again. Where men fail. The common mistake here is dismissing it. Men shrug it off with, "Oh, that's nice." Or worse, they act surprised, as if they don't deserve it. Both responses kill the momentum. The right response. The best move? Mirror the energy back, playfully. "Funny, I was just thinking about you too. I hope it was something good." This validates her vulnerability while keeping the tone light and fun.